Hello and welcome to Apple Tree Cottage here in the Scottish borders. It's lovely to see you again. I have a number of things for you in today's episode. This is Tuesday, October the 7th, 2025, and this is Flosstube episode 41. And I'm going to begin by showing you my sampler stitching. There have been a variety of activities going on in my life, including knitting, and so because I'm not just doing samplers, I hope that my progress is not too disappointing compared to those YouTubers who simply stitch samplers all the time and then whiz through and finish. However, as I say, I have a variety of things to show you today, and I had hoped to come into my garden for today's episode, but still not quite, but we're almost there, and I'll certainly be able to show you what progress I have made. As people know, I use the little sushi boxes for keeping the threads for the various samplers that I use, and I obtained them on Amazon, and they were not very expensive, and actually they do stack, and I just love the wood effect, and I do label them so that I can be organized. My elder daughter gave me the gift of this lovely basket. People will know I'm completely potty about baskets, and I've even been looking at making my own, but I think that's got to wait. This has been collected in a so-called charity shop. I think perhaps it wasn't a charity shop so much as an antique shop that my daughter frequents in the Cotswolds, and it is lined with William Morris fabric. It's been beautifully lined. And I'm finding that it is ideal for carrying 2 or 3 samplers, and these would be my work for the day, sampler wise. Now, come into my garden, and I'd be careful not to show you the chart, so let's just do that. Now, Come Into My Garden is one of my all-time favourites. It's by Blackbird Designs, and it was designed by Barb Adams, who sadly passed away in the early 2020s there. And it's just a brilliant design, absolutely wonderful selection of threads, but I did change the fabric on it. They were suggesting 36 count Velt by Picture This Plus, and I went with Vintage Country Mocha Zweigart, but it is the 36 count, and here is my progress. And I do recommend the Vintage Country Mocha. It's got a sandier colour, and it looks absolutely wonderful with the threads. So, where have we got to with this? Let me just do this a little bit more. I have now completed this wonderful border. All the motifs going round are now complete. And they're like little gardens in themselves, little alcoves. And it helps if I put it the right way up. There we are. Last time I had to finish the house, finished the basket, and this time I have now finished the border, done the tulip on one side, that tulip, and I had to do, and I've just started the frame in the bottom. That's what I've done. I had hoped to push forward and finish this, but I had a request from one of my lovely viewers to show you how I make my work bags. So that's actually where the time at the weekend has gone. Now, maybe next week I will have this finished, at which point you will see it in all its full glory. If not, I'm still loving doing it. So that's one sampler. Now, the next one I have picked up again, and I've surprised myself with how much I'm actually enjoying this. I started it with enthusiasm, and then I got a bit bored with it and laid it aside for a few weeks, but this is definitely going to be pushed forward and hopefully again be a finish in the next few weeks. The original is French and has a little flag on top of the house or chapel, and that's what I've decided to do. The Blackbird Designs, it's by Blackbird Designs, they've put in this big bird, and they've also put in a plant. I think I might put in that plant. But I've also changed the threads to silks that I had, and it's a sort of mix of silks according to the colours that I could obtain that were closest. And I'm absolutely loving doing it in silk, I have to say. I really am. So as you can see, I've now continued down this side and I'm working along the bottom border. So that's where I am with that. And in the show notes, in one of my episodes, and I'm sorry I can't tell you which one of my previous episodes, I have written out the threads that I used, but I will just tell you over the internet verbally. The Classic Colourworks Balsam Fir. I now have Gloriana Elizabethan Green. For the barn door, I have Gloriana Desert Rose. For Weeks Dye Works Dirt Road, I have Toadstool by Gloriana, and also Gloriana Honey Bronze for the Classic Colourworks Fool's Gold. Classic Colourworks Gingerbread, I've substituted with Italian Gold, Gloriana. And their Jakey Brown is Dried Pink Roses by Gloriana. Gloriana Leaf Green is substituting the Classic Colourworks Mossy, which is that really bright green, the acid green. And frankly, I do think if you don't have that acid green, then the whole design might fall down rather, because you do need that as a focal point. Classic Colourworks Peanut Brittle, I went with Avera Soie 2212. Weeks Dye Works Pelican Grey, I substituted with Gloriana Sable. Classic Colourworks Pine Needles, I substituted with Gloriana Olive Grove, which is a lovely, lovely, lovely thread, and I use that a great deal. And then Gloriana Rose Blush replaces Classic Colourworks Used Brick. So there we are. And as I say, the one really important thing in my mind is that if you're going to substitute, then be sure to obtain a really acid green. So now the next one that I've been working on all week is in its own bag, and this is very much similar to a bag I'll be showing you, and I'm going to put in the demonstration of my bag making for you as requested. But this one didn't have the pouch on the front, and I will show you how to do that. I'm calling the Workbags Edwardian for a reason, which if you like to follow me through, you will find out. Now, this one is silk. I have to say, I do love DMC, but and the variegated Classic Works, Weeks Works, etc. in the cottons. But silk for me doesn't tangle and knot in the way that the cottons do. I'm really finding a difference there. So I think long term my preference is for silk. This is Sampler Cove Rhapsody in Red Ribbon Sampler. And I'm absolutely loving doing this. I'm doing one red thread a morning, and the threads are two, they're Gloriana Crimson and Gloriana Cranberry silk. Just a lovely, lovely combination there. It really is working very well. And I'm doing this on Kingston, which is, I think 50 or 56 count. It could be 56 count. So I do need the morning light or bright sunshine to do it. And that's as far as I've got now. That's a little trial piece that I made up at the top there. I decided to this morning to turn the corner and to come down, though with the crimson I have continued along here. So there had to be a decision. Was I going to come along the top, or was I going to come down the corner and do the next panel? And the thing is, and the panel here, do a central panel next. And the thing is, not to become bored. I feel that if I'm repeating too many of the same design, then I might get bored and then I might stop doing it, which isn't a good idea. I have noticed that the borders are different. So that's different to that. That's different to that. So there's not a huge amount of repetition. There's a lot of variation in this. Highly recommend it. As I was saying last episode, I think that might be one of my 5-year plans. Anyway, there we are with sampler. I have been doing knitting as well, and but I won't show you the knitting this week. It's really the Shetland knitting, but that will be coming back. And so I'm going to insert now the demonstration for how to make the Edwardian work bag, and then I'll see you after that. I have chosen Edwardian as the title for this because at the time zip fasteners had not been introduced, and so the Edwardians would have made a bag like this. I used a rotary cutter and mat to cut a square of hexagon patchwork fabric that I had already made for the front pouch. And this front pouch is attached wrong side to right side on what will be the front of the bag, having ironed down a facing and leaving that top opening open in that pocket. And then taking the lining, I then stitched the lining to the front at the top, right sides together at the top, meaning that the pouch opening is at that end as well. And choose pretty fabric and contrasting lining. And you're going to stitch the two lining pieces to the front and the back of the bag, right sides together. And you're going to match those two end seams up very carefully. So that's the 4 pieces stitched at the opening of the front pocket. Leave a gap at the bottom there, but stitch round the rest, and then you're going to pull that lining through. This is how it comes out. Press the whole thing, stitch that little opening that you've left closed. That was where you pulled the fabric through. You're going to close that, and then you're just going to put the lining, just push it down into the bag, lining the whole thing again, ironing the whole thing again, So it's lovely and pressed. There's the lining in now. And then stitching the ribbon to it. I stitch usually on the inside. Sometimes I stitch the ribbon on the outside. Neat little stitches there. I hand stitched that. And then you are going to tie the bows, and that's you finished and complete with your beautiful Edwardian work bag, ready for the sampler, the chart, the fabric, the thread. Well, I do hope that was edifying and inspiring to some of you to go ahead and make your own Edwardian work bags. Here is the work bag that was used for or made for the demonstration, and it's just very fresh and pretty. And I will be putting housing Sarah Redfern 1826 in it by the Scarlet House, and popping the DMC threads that I'm using for Sarah in the pouch there at the front. As you can see, they actually do fit into my basket, which is a jolly good idea. Now, the other thing I was doing at the weekend, which wasn't samplers, was to start for Christmas. I really do try and make things for Christmas for family members, for gifts. And I decided to make some of the bags in Christmas material and decorate them. I'm not sure, presumably they will be holding gifts in their own right, whether it's homemade Scottish tablet or, I don't know, lace gloves, I don't know. I'll maybe show you nearer the time. So they're made in exactly the same way as this one. And they've been lined this time with green. Let me just undo there we are, lined in green, and just lovely, hopefully useful bags, but certainly lovely just for Christmas. And I have crocheted, I'm calling them starflakes because they're not stars and they're not really snowflakes, but as you will know, I do also crochet, the fine lace crochet, and so I did them in cotton, and I dipped them in starch, and aren't they lovely? And if you like doing them, if you're inspired to do that, they look lovely on the Christmas tree. With the larger bag, I popped a bit of lace on the top. I have not made that lace. And what else can I tell you about it? I think that is it for Christmas bags for people, and gift bags. And I would say that for the big work bag, not taking the time for gathering materials, it probably took me 3 hours to actually make them. I think I did that bag on Saturday afternoon. But if you're going to think ahead a little bit, if there's some sort of purpose, or you want to have a particular decoration, then of course that's going to take some more time. And again, with these starflakes, I think I crocheted them up and starched them again in an afternoon. So there we are, a little bit of variety. There may well be some knitting to show you next week, and hopefully more samplers. And as I say, really starting to think about Christmas and Christmas gifts now, because time absolutely flies. So I've thoroughly enjoyed, again, just coming together with you over the internet. I welcome these lovely comments, and even if you don't comment, I hope that you're subscribing to me, and that you are inspired or just enjoy watching a bit of chat from Apple Tree Cottage here in the Scottish borders. And thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye bye.